Hey there and welcome to No Recipe Required. I'm Dave and tonight we're going to do chicken, specifically roast chicken. Whole roasting a whole chicken is one of my absolute favorite, like Sunday meals. Pop it in for an hour or two, fills the whole house with awesome aromas. What I'm going to show you here is an herb roasted chicken. We'll make an herb butter, kind of smear it all over the chicken, maybe go under the skin. We'll show you how to do that and roast it off to absolute perfection. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, so here are my herbs for our chicken, herb roasted chicken. And I'm using thyme and rosemary, which are both pretty common, but you can certainly use this technique with just about anything. You know, oregano, fresh oregano would be great, marjoram, even parsley, sage. Those types would all be awesome. And you know what we're going to do, as I told you, we're going to make a little herb butter that we rub underneath the skin. And you just want to get the herbs kind of nice and finely chopped. These look good to go. Scrape them together. And then I've got my couple tablespoons of butter. The softer the butter, the easier this is going to be. So if you want to let it out for a couple hours, or a couple hours, however long it takes to get soft is good. And then I'm just going to take, a fork and kind of mash all this together and form a bit of a paste. I'm probably going to add a little bit more butter to this. I like maybe a 2-to-1 ratio. 1 part herb, 2 parts butter. And I think I can use a little bit more butter in this. And the nice part, rubbing this under the skin, in addition to flavoring the skin itself, that butter, that delicious butter, kind of seeps down into the meat and flavors up the meat as well. So you can do this hours ahead of time. Keep it either in a cool place or you can pop it back in the fridge. You just want it kind of soft when we're ready to spread it on the chicken. Okay, so I've got my chicken here. Let's go ahead and get our herb butter underneath the skin. But first, I want to show you how to kind of separate off the skin from the meat underneath. And it's actually pretty simple. You really you kind of do this technique on the breast meat, and the only hard part is kind of getting the skin separated at first. So you can see here, if you just start playing with it, you'll definitely be able to tell where the skin starts. This is meat here. You got skin, a little flap over it, and even here you can see a little bit of skin and this and a little bit of meat. Sorry, a little bit of meat in the skin. And what you essentially want to do is just use your finger and push down in there. And as long as you're kind of pressing, put your pressure down towards the meat there, and slide that finger up and around, you'll be able to separate the meat from the skin. And it's actually, pretty darn tough. So it's not super delicate. I wouldn't worry too much about, breaking the skin or puncturing the skin. I would if you're using a knife, but don't use a knife. What you could use is, kind of like the back of a spoon, something like this. You might want to wet it down to make it just a little bit more slippery in there, but you could definitely do that if you can't get all the way in there. And that is how to separate the skin from the chicken. Once we do that, we've got our herb butter here. Easiest thing to do is just throw some on your hands and then push it down in there. Use the exact same motion that you just used, and use your fingers to get it kind of all the way back down into the back as far as you can. And you're not looking, you can overdo it, I think. You definitely want to be able to look through the skin. You see the little bits of herb, see the little bits of butter in there, but if you only see herb, if it's one solid patch of green, that's probably a little too much, and the flavors, the herb flavor, might be just a little bit too strong. You want to work down the sides, the edges, kind of all over the place. And then once that butter is in there, just pull the skin back, kind of cover the meat up. You don't need to tie it up. You don't need to do anything like that. And then with this one as well, I'm going to take some of the extra rosemary and thyme and just throw it right in the cavity. And then I'm going to tie up the bird. We're going to come back. We're going to season with salt and pepper. Still got to season with salt and pepper. Don't forget that. And then we're ready to roast off. Okay, so after we've gotten our chicken, herb, butter all put together, I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to my roasting pan. I just got it on the flame to bring it up to temperature, close to temperature, because I'm going to slide it in the oven. And this will just save 5 minutes of cooking time. Does not have to be hot. I'm not looking for sear or anything like that. I'm going to stick this whole thing, we've salt and peppered it, herbs are inside, into a 400-degree oven. And it'll probably take about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to cook all the way through. Internal temperature of 160, maybe just under 160, because it'll carry over to 160. Okay, so I just pulled my chicken out of the oven. That the butter under the skin gave the skin a nice crispy crust, and obviously, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see the herbs, or at least I can see the herbs, underneath that skin that have flavored the chicken just perfectly. You gotta let it rest, so I'm gonna let this sit on a cutting board for probably 10 minutes or so. And while that happens, you can make a sauce, you can make your side dishes, make whatever you want. Okay, so we've got our chicken beautifully cooked and nicely rested. We're gonna pull off the legs, or leg anyway, because I love the legs. Serve that up, who wouldn't love it? And then to take the breast off, just go down the middle bone there. Don't be too gentle with it either. And then kind of come across right down the breastbone, working your way towards the wing, and that baby will pop right off. You can see, even though I let this rest for 10 minutes, how hot and warm it is. And if we were to take a peek under the skin, you see that nice, wonderful herb there. I like to serve kind of nice, big, thick slices, which I will do. I'm serving mine with a little bit of rice and asparagus. We lay that chicken breast right down, like so. Fan it out a little bit. Everybody loves a good presentation. And then I happen to make just a quick and dirty pan sauce. Drizzle that right over, and you are in heaven with this herb roasted chicken. I'll see you next time, and no recipe required.